Welcome to the Sports on Prime. I'm Gary Al Smith. Today we have news from the Ghana Premier League. Also, we will do some Champions League in terms of broadcasting, and then the big games that are coming this weekend in Europe, and then we do some Taekwondo as well. If we have time, we'll do some international sports that is not football. Thank you for your time. And first of all, we begin with Hearts of Oak, whose preseason is not exactly going according to plan. Many Phobian players, we understand, have refused to turn up for the club's preseason training. Here's Kwame Opare-Addo, who speaks for the club.
Well, today we'll say 10 of the senior players stand up at training, and we are hoping that once we have resent messages to them for the need to appear at training on Monday, we expect everybody to be present.
Opare-Addo, so tell me, why are the players reluctant to begin preseason with Accra Hearts of Oak?
That is something very strange to everybody, because they were informed before on the 4th of December that was the day we were going to start our training. So it is strange to everybody that these players have not reported to training. I know for one, Inouye Musa, he has taken permission because the mom is sick and he's far away in UG.
Opare-Addo, tell me, we understand that many of the senior players are not training because of unpaid bonuses, salaries, and contract extension fees. What have you to tell us about these things?
Well, that is also something strange, because on Tuesday, player salaries, outstanding bonuses, everything was cleared. So that comes as something strange to all of us, because you cannot use that as an excuse. If you even say that, yes, you're not going to go to training because you have not been paid, which for me, it is wrong though. But once you have been paid, what excuse again can you use? You don't have any other excuse but to.
So are you saying that the club will punish players who refuse to turn up for training and players who have failed to give you tangible reasons? Are you going to punish them?
Well, players must come in for tangible reason. If you come in and you don't give the management any tangible reason, or the technical team any tangible reason, certainly a decision will be taken.
Okay, Opare-Addo, finally, before you go, we understand that many of the senior players, their contracts have expired. What is management doing about that situation? Because if you don't renew the contract, they are free to sign for any club of their choice.
Yes, that is why even before the season ended, we've constantly speaking to these players, because we believe that Hearts of Oak don't need them. Even though, as I speak to you now, none of them has agreed to sign yet. But then we are still hoping that they will see the need to return and find for Hearts of Oak and play.
Coach Frank Natal is on holidays in his native Scotland. When is he returning to town?
We expect him back Sunday evening, so by Monday morning he should be at training.
And we understand that some of the Hearts players are not coming or are not attending the training because Frank Natal is not around. So, like you heard Opare-Addo say, he'll be back by Sunday evening, and then we are expecting a lot of the Hearts players to be back by Monday. He was speaking to my colleague Asare Bediako earlier today. Away from the Ghana Premier League, the English version, it's reaching the hectic, frenetic December series of games. The big one this weekend, well, the big two if you like, but the big one of the big two is Manchester United versus Manchester City. There's also Liverpool versus Everton, which all give us a Super Sunday.
It is without doubt Super Sunday in the Premier League this weekend, with two of the world's biggest derbies following one another. First up, Liverpool comes to a standstill as the blue and red halves of the Mersey come together at Anfield, with Liverpool hosting Everton in a rivalry that dates back to the 13th of October 1894.
I'd like to build it up and say it's very big, but I'll be lying at the moment, because I think Liverpool are so far ahead of Everton. I think it means so much for Merseyside and Liverpool. But on the scheme of things in the Premier League, it's not that big at the moment because of the gulf in quality of the two teams. You know, Everton are very much struggling.
Surely a derby will lift performance levels, especially within an Everton squad desperate to right their leaky ship. Former Blackburn Rovers and Tottenham Hotspur legend Tim Sherwood doesn't think so.
Normally people say, you know, form goes out the window in a derby, but Everton are going to take a hide in the game on the weekend, and I can't see any other way that they can do it. They can bring in Sam Allardyce, they can do what they want. They're going to be behind the ball, they're going to try and stop. Obviously Liverpool are very potent with their three-man attack, what they have. They have players who can operate in tight areas and score goals. Their only chance, Everton, would be to get very lucky.
Despite the level of emotion involved, Sherwood feels Everton will simply be overwhelmed by the Liverpool attacking threat.
Listen, they've got the quality, you know, they've got someone like Wayne Rooney who knows what this derby's all about, doesn't he? I mean, he's a Liverpool lad. Obviously spent a lot of his time at Manchester United, but he's blue through and through. And there will be nothing more, and that will be the headline, really. That will be the story if Wayne could do something about it. But that would be a Cinderella story, in my opinion, because I think that Liverpool got too much, too much.
Following that encounter, the top two in the league, who live side by side amid two sets of furiously passionate fans, meet as Manchester United welcome Manchester City to Old Trafford.
It's the fact that what City are doing now, and they have come into the equation now in a big way. They've gone on to win the Premier League and win the FA Cup. The only thing that is really missing for them is obviously the Champions League, and obviously, you know, being Manchester themselves, then the rivalry has become a bit more intense.
Since the start of last season, the Manchester derby has become as much about a battle of wits between the managers as a battle of wills between the players, according to one of the prongs of the late 90s and early 2000s Red Devils attack, Dwight Yorke.
Certainly Pep and Jose has got a history in the La Liga, two at the very biggest club in the Spanish league. So they've got a history of their own, and so there is always going to be that mind game going into the game, and it's all about the players at the end of the day in terms of performing. But the managers do play the part as well in terms of, you know, hyping this game.
While Yorke feels City can afford to drop points in this encounter, United are in a must-not-lose situation.
Let's make no bones about it. It's a game that Man United cannot lose, a game that City can't afford to lose and still be in a very relatively comfortable position. But it's a fascinating encounter. We're all looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. I'm sure the world who indulge in football, this is the kind of game that everyone wants to see.
Jose Mourinho says that Fellaini's, whether he's going to be around tomorrow, is going to be, he'll let us know tomorrow. And also, Matic is 70% fit, but he will play. That's according to Jose Mourinho. Eric Bailly, obviously, is still not back, but Jones and Zlatan Ibrahimovic will be available. As for Pep Guardiola, he says that he has absolutely no problems with the height factor and that his best players should understand what this means. Anyway, let's look at what the Premier League fixtures will have apart from these two derbies. We have West Ham versus Chelsea, and then there's Tottenham versus Stoke, Burnley, Watford, Palace, Bournemouth, Swansea, West Brom, Huddersfield, Brighton, Newcastle, Leicester, Southampton, Arsenal on Sunday, and then the two we've talked about finish off the day on that one. Meanwhile, in La Liga, Zinedine Zidane is being questioned about whether he can take his team all the way, but he says he doesn't care at all. And especially with Cristiano Ronaldo winning his 5th Ballon d'Or, he will be expected to push his side to win this weekend. So let's look at the fixtures. Alaves versus Las Palmas just started at the moment, and also Getafe, Eibar, Real Madrid, Sevilla, big one, Depor, Leganés, Valencia, Celta, Sociedad, Malaga, Betis, Atleti, and Levante, Bilbao, Villarreal, Barcelona. That's another big one, in Espanyol, Girona. Meanwhile, one of our sponsors for this sports segment is SuperSport, and they have renewed their coverage of the UEFA Champions League.
It's Coutinho, maybe one of those moments early on with Milner crossing on the run. And Mane, it is one of those moments. It's a fantastic 4th goal for Liverpool.
The UEFA Champions League has thrilled SuperSport viewers for many years, and that will continue to be the case after it was confirmed on Friday that Your World of Champions has renewed its broadcast rights to the prestigious tournament. SuperSport confirmed a 3-year partnership with the rights holders, with the renewal starting from the 2018-2019 season. SuperSport's rights include television, mobile and internet platforms, extend across sub-Saharan Africa including South Africa, and supplement a world-class football offering. That includes the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia and many other top leagues and competitions.
So that's the sport for now. We will be back at 10:30 with the football show, the final edition of the week. We'll be previewing the big games more, especially getting your thoughts on what should be a great weekend of football. In Europe, it's not just in England that will have big games, or Spain. There are some mouth-watering fixtures from across the European continent. So my name is Gary Al Smith. I'll see you.